The invitation arrived on a rainy Tuesday morning. My mother stared at the gold envelope for almost a full minute before opening it. The moment she read the card, the color drained from her face. I was standing in the kitchen doorway when I heard her whisper a name she hadn't spoken in years. Daniel? My stomach tightened. Daniel wasn't just her ex-husband. He was the man who had abandoned her when she was 6 months pregnant with triplets. The man who told her she would never survive without him. The man who walked away and started a new life while she struggled to feed 3 babies on a waitress's salary. For 18 years, he never sent a birthday card, never paid support, never asked if his children were alive. Yet now, after all those years, he was inviting her to his lavish wedding. At the bottom of the card, written in his own handwriting, was a message that made my blood boil. I hope you'll come. It would be nice for everyone to see how life turned out for us both. Everyone knew what that meant. He wasn't inviting her to celebrate. He was inviting her to compare. To embarrass her. To remind her of everything she'd lost. What Daniel didn't know was that my mother had spent the last 18 years building something extraordinary. And on the day of his wedding, he was about to discover just how badly he had underestimated the woman he left behind. The rain tapped softly against the windows as my mother folded the invitation and placed it back into the envelope. My brothers, Ethan and Noah, sat silently at the table. The 3 of us exchanged glances. We all knew the history. We had lived it. Every missed meal. Every overdue bill. Every night Mom cried in secret because she thought we couldn't hear. You don't have to go, Noah said gently. Mom smiled. I know. Then why are you thinking about it? I asked. She looked down at the invitation. Because for 18 years, I've let that man control how I felt. Maybe it's time he sees what happened after he left. For the first time, I saw something different in her eyes. Not pain, not anger. Peace. And that scared me more than anything. Because peaceful people have nothing left to prove, and they are impossible to defeat. 18 years earlier, Daniel had been the golden boy of their small town. Handsome, popular, successful. Everyone believed he was destined for greatness. My mother, Sarah, was the quiet girl who worked 2 jobs while attending college. When they married, people congratulated Daniel, as if he were doing her a favor. Then Mom became pregnant, with triplets. At first Daniel was excited. Then reality arrived. 3 babies, 3 cribs, 3 college funds, 3 times the responsibility. One night Mom came home from work and found half the closet empty. Daniel was gone. A single note sat on the kitchen counter. I didn't sign up for this. That was it. No apology, no explanation, nothing. Mom was 24 years old, pregnant, alone, terrified. Most people would have collapsed. My mother didn't. She fought. She worked mornings at a diner, nights cleaning offices, weekends studying business courses online. When the triplets were born, she slept less than 4 hours a night. But she never quit, never. While rocking 3 babies to sleep, she taught herself bookkeeping, then accounting, then business management. 5 years later, she started a small financial consulting company from our tiny apartment. 10 years later, she had her own office. 15 years later, she had employees. By the time we turned 18, she owned one of the most respected financial firms in the state. But she never bragged about it, never showed off. Most people had no idea how successful she'd become, including Daniel. The wedding day arrived. Mom stepped out of her room wearing an elegant navy blue gown. Simple, classy, beautiful. My brothers and I stood speechless. She looked stronger than we'd ever seen her. Not because of the dress, because of the confidence. The confidence that comes from surviving things that should have broken you. Ready? She asked. We smiled. Oh, we're ready. The wedding was being held at a luxury country club. Expensive cars lined the entrance. Guests mingled beneath crystal chandeliers. As we entered, conversations began to slow. People recognized my mother immediately. Whispers spread through the room. That's Sarah, Daniel's ex-wife. The one he left. Then people noticed us. 3 tall young adults walking beside her. Triplets. His triplets. The children he had abandoned. The room grew silent. Then Daniel appeared. The smile on his face lasted exactly 3 seconds. His eyes moved from Mom to Ethan. To me, his expression changed completely. For the first time in his life, he looked nervous. Sarah, he said awkwardly. Daniel. No anger. No bitterness. Just calm. The kind of calm that makes guilty people uncomfortable. The reception continued. Guests kept approaching Mom. But something unexpected happened. Many of them weren't praising Daniel. They were congratulating her. Several business owners recognized her company. One investor even called her one of the smartest entrepreneurs in the region. Daniel's face turned pale each time someone spoke, because for the first time, he realized the truth. The woman he thought would fail had become more successful than he ever was. Then came the final shock. During dinner, one of the guests asked Mom about her children. She smiled proudly. Ethan just graduated from medical school. Applause. Noah starts law school this fall. More applause. And my daughter recently launched her own technology company. The room erupted. People turned toward us with admiration. Daniel sat frozen. Years ago, he'd walked away believing we would become burdens. Instead, we had become his greatest regret. As the night ended, Daniel approached our table one last time. His eyes were filled with something I'd never seen before. Not arrogance, not pride, shame. I made a lot of mistakes, he said quietly. Mom looked at him for a long moment. Then she smiled. Not a cruel smile. A compassionate one. The best thing you ever did for us was leave. His face fell. Not because she insulted him. Because he knew she was telling the truth. We left the wedding together. Mom in the center. The three of us beside her. As we walked toward the parking lot, I glanced back once. Daniel was standing alone beneath the lights. Watching us leave. Watching the family he abandoned. Watching the life he could have had. And for the first time in 18 years, my mother wasn't the one carrying the pain. He was. While she drove away, surrounded by the people who loved her most. And in that moment, I finally understood something. Success isn't becoming richer than the people who hurt you. It's building a life so beautiful that their opinion no longer matters.